Everybody, my name is Seth Smock and I am the sales trainer here at ENS Security, and today we're going to be talking about two new titanium cameras that we brought in. One of them being a 4 megapixel red and blue light active deterrent camera, and the other one being a standard 4 megapixel wide LED camera. So let's jump into these camera specs. Dive into our active deterrent camera. So the first thing to note on it, it is a turret housing style with 4 megapixel resolution. And a very neat thing about this camera as well is it is a motorized lens with 2.8 to 13 millimeter motorized zoom. It also does have full color wide LEDs and IRs. So even with the active deterrent features, you can also still offer full color at night or just your standard IR, whatever your choice is. It does support up to 131 feet of white LED illumination and IR distance, so you can go either one. And like I said earlier, these are red and blue light active deterrents. They do support standard VCA features, face detection, people counting, and because the camera has a built-in mic and speaker, it does support two-way communication as well, and is true WDR. Now let's dive into the specs of our wide LED camera that we're offering in titanium. This camera does come in a bullet housing type. It has 4 megapixel for resolution. The lens is a standard 2.8 millimeter fixed lens camera. And like I said, there is a warm white LED on there to support full color at night. It does support up to 98 feet of that white LED distance as well. And it does have your standard VCA features, built-in mic, and does support true WDR as well. Now, with both these cameras having a nice amount of features, there's a lot of different applications these cameras can go into. So I just want to give you guys three, but really these cameras can go anywhere. They are very versatile in where they can be placed. The first little example that I want to give is for our red and blue light camera, where you can install this camera in, let's say, like a wholesale supply location where there's a lot of inventory and a lot of material that's kept on site in these places, and there's a lot of foot traffic or employees running around and all these people going on, and you want a camera that's going to be able to not only record 24/7, have full color at night to make sure your equipment is fully covered in terms of lighting and safety and security, but also be able to actively deter crime with the red and blue lights. The active deterrent camera will be a nice fit for that location around the exterior of the building, and you can even go ahead and place the white LED camera on the inside for the nighttime. I know it's not as common to see white LEDs on the interior of buildings, but they're becoming more popular, especially in these wholesale supply locations and larger buildings, where you're going to want to cover the entire darkness of this building with lights and security cameras and footage to be able to overview this. Another application, which is kind of more of a unique application that we typically mention, is, for example, like theaters or somewhere in the entertainment industry. These large theaters, they have a lot of cameras covering the entrances and exits of these facilities, so people aren't sneaking in trying to get into a movie or run around the facility trying to break in, especially because of the rise in crime rates for theaters. It's very common to see some higher end cameras around the building. So specifically with the wide LED camera, you can have this covering the corners of the building and everywhere around the walls on the exterior of the building, and you can have actually the active deterrent camera covering the entrances and exits, so you have a very close view, and if somebody's trying to enter when they're not supposed to, you can have that active deterrence go off with one of those VCA features it offers. And the last little application that I just want to give you guys is, let's say for example, a small office, somewhere we've all seen a million times. Now really both of these cameras can be installed on this building, but first, looking at the active deterrent camera, because it's two-way communication, you can have this installed on the interior or really even the exterior of the building. Either way works. If a employee is doing something they're not supposed to, you can have two-way communication to talk to the camera to tell that employee to say, hey, get off your phone, stop doing this, stop doing that, whatever you got to do. Okay, and with this wide LED camera, it's a nice standard coverage that can cover the entire building with full color at night at a very affordable price. To wrap this video up and kind of give my final thoughts on these cameras, this active deterrent camera has every feature that you really want. It has the active deterrence red and blue lights. It has the white LED for full color at night. It has a motorized lens, your standard VCA features, people counting, face detection, two-way communication. This camera has it all. It could be a really versatile camera to offer on your installs, and it is substantially more affordable than other cameras with similar specs. And then for a white LED camera, it is becoming more common to see white LED cameras becoming the standard for most people's installs. This camera is a very easy camera to just start being your standard 4 megapixel bullet camera with white LED to start installing on buildings. So to get this camera picked up, or one of these cameras picked up, make sure you go ahead and give your ENS sales rep a call.